let me say something kind of quick here about that system, that three little piggy system. In the PDF, you can download and you can read. A lot of times people either they don't think about possibilities or whatever, but a lot of times people don't think about all the possibilities. In the possibilities that could turn his system upside down. In his system, he pretty much says buy when the price is above the weekly. You can see it's above the weekly right there. And the price is above the daily. It's above right there. And price is above the 240. Now he goes further to say on the 240, the price must touch the 240 MA and close above it. No trouble there. That's straightforward. To buy. What happens if the price is below the 240 MA and on the next bar it gaps above it? It didn't touch it. It's about like climbing over a barbed wire fence. We can hop over it or we can climb over it. What happens when the price, do you buy? Do you steal? It didn't touch it. It jumped over it. The indicator that I wrote, posted on any vid site, here in a little bit anyway, it will not concern itself with gaps. So in other words, he didn't mention them. I wrote it as if it's below the bar, if it's below the MA and then closes above, then that is a valid signal. So keep that in mind. That's enough of that. Here is the same thing we were just talking about earlier. Here was my buy. And immediately it went against me. This daily chart, so you got 4 or 5 days to sit here and think about nothing but losing all your money. You know how that works. I took that buy. I took this buy. Sometimes people will say, well, why didn't you take that sell? Why didn't you take that sell? And when you do that, there are people sometimes that will come up with all these wild abstract reasons of why, this or that or, whatever. I need to see it myself. Why didn't I take that buy? That's a valid question. I'll tell you why. My fondness of the TSR. Okay, it's just what I've chosen. You can have something else. You can have the 50 MA or the 3-pole Butterworth filter or something. You could, whatever you're fond of, that's just kind of what you need to work your life around. Why didn't I take that sell? Well, here are the 4 TSRs. The weekly is up. So if I'd have sold that, I'd be selling against a weekly trend, which is a pretty stout trend, and the monthly trend. And the weekly Rocky Horner, so in other words, if this was the weekly chart, the price is above the Rocky Horner wave. Usually when it's above the wave, it's kind of going up. And the monthly, it's above the monthly, here. So, and same thing when it's when it's above the weekly or above the monthly, it's kind of going up. So I'm not really interested in sitting there and trying to nickel and dime the stuff to death. Most of the time. Sometimes you are. You know how that goes. Sometimes you want to gamble, sometimes you don't. I want this. I want this here. That's what I want. I don't want that little old bitty, probably valid. I don't want that little bitty, well, it was valid, wasn't it? I don't want that little old bitty, well, no, we're buying this here. That's what it should be. I don't want that little old bitty sell. I don't want that. The dailies and the weeklies don't agree. I'm not interested in it. I kind of want to go with the flow. I don't want to have to sit here and not be able to sleep tonight because I got one micro lot long on the Euro USD. I kind of want to be comfortable in the situation. But anyway, so if you ever see and ever wonder, because this is something I post quite a lot, this right here. Why didn't I take that? Because these said don't take that, and I value their opinion. Right there. If it had been red, I'd have been taking that. Probably would have lost money, but I'd have been taking it. But anyway, just in case. And we're done.